Hey, Russell. Yeah, it is a pleasure to have a conversation with you. Um, would you mind telling me a little bit about before we meet, what you're doing, like your life and your professional?
Yeah. Both my wife and I, Sandra, are retired school teachers after 37 years. Uh, Now, previous to that, that was just in the public school. But previous to that, we owned a school in Alaska, which was a private school, and so after we retired, we moved to Heber and bought property here. Actually, we bought property prior to moving here,
Mm.
about a year before we moved. And so we have a retirement program through the school district. Uh, and so, which has been a really good retirement program. Um, but we moved here. We built our house here. We bought property in Heber at a time that Heber was just coming out of a recession. So we bought property and built a house here. And we, at the same time, started another private school, which we have had for 7 years, all the time that we've lived here. And so the school gave us the money that we needed to develop the property which we lived on, which was about 2 acres. So we started a vegetable farm, and also started an organization. It's a CSA organization, uh, which uh, we sell memberships to the community or people within the community, so that it's a service to the community. But they buy shares of through our farm, and therefore they receive food every week from our farm. So that's kind of what where we're at now. We have just recently retired and sold our school to our oldest son. So therefore, we have an income now from the school, from selling it, and we also have a small income from the farm, which sustains the farm. Yeah, and so that's just one of the things which we've done to uh, help us to be able to continue to build what we have, is through these small businesses that we've started.
Thank you for sharing, Russell. It's just, yeah, Russell and Sandra, you and Sandra has been doing some incredible things throughout your life. So it was quite a pleasure to connect with you. I remembered at that time we were looking mainly for the mortgage side of a protection, but then your family figured stuff out, right? To everybody contributed as a legacy community, and you're planning something more like investment type of
Right.
style of strategy.
In the will itself could inherit a certain amount of that of the property at at the time that Sandra and I maybe both passed away. Then they would get a share. But until that happens, the way we've worded that is that any child within the family can purchase more of an investment in the property. So what that would do would help us to continue to develop the property more. So there's certain buildings we're adding on like solar to the property to where, and a year-round greenhouse. We already have a high tunnel on the property. The property itself could be self-sustaining in food and energy.
So yeah, that's awesome. You find a solution, everyone contribute and work together. So the property has triple the value and it still stays in the family for a legacy, right? But at the same time, you were, that's problem solved, but you were still finding something interesting, like the ones we work together to get you approved, right? So what part of that it interests you the most? So you were like, yeah, after you talk with Sandra, you like the plan.
Well, the plan seemed to go along with what we were trying to achieve anyway, and that's more independence. I mean, that's what I think everybody wants to achieve is independence from the bank or owing money to someone else. And so because of the insurance that we have in place, it continues to uh, earn money that we could use at some point to continue to invest in the property to either maintain it or improve it or whatever at some point. So what I saw in so I look at the insurance policy as an investment, not something that I'm just paying and not going to receive anything back until after I die. You see, insurance has never really, especially life insurance, has never really made a lot of sense to me because I never get any value from it. whereas my children do, but I don't. But in this case, the money which I pay into it is going towards building uh, an investment that I can use if I need to. So
Yes, control of your own life instead of limited by whatever the government or the bank or other entities, right, to tell you, what to do with your money, or they keep your money there trapped in a place you cannot get access to or tax and interest free. So, I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, this is definitely the right, strategy to fit your vision and the next chapter, you and Sandra and the whole family. Like Russell and you and Sandra are educators all through your life. And it has been quite a pleasure meet with you. So like now we're beyond just the insurance, right? We're friends and a kind of family. I go there having dinner and get to meet your children as well. So like, I mean, go ahead.
I look at it as if I'm going to have an insurance agent, and I have other insurances as well, but every one of the insurance people that is a part of my life, my car insurance or property insurance, my home insurance, those kinds of things, those people are my friends, and so it's because of that, and the relationship that we have developed with you, that friendship, to me, I have a greater trust in you as an individual, knowing that you're going to take care of me. You're going to take care of the investment that I've made through you. And whereas I've had insurance companies in the past that once the person sells me insurance, then they're gone. I don't know who they are. I have an insurance policy that nobody calls me about. They don't tell me, in fact, they don't even send me information anymore. So, it was a very cheap policy, but at the same time, I had no communication, no relationship with that person. And so that at that point, it kind of just made me think, hey, I don't like to do business that way. If I do business with somebody, they need to be my friend.
I'm the same way. I guess it's like, we attract each other, right? I feel in a way through the insurance we connected that it's a relationship. So
Yeah, and it's something too that age has no limit, right?
definitely.
It's not a division. I mean, you're as old as some of my younger children. Having 8 children. Uh, you know, uh, I am 72 years old, and that age doesn't seem to make a big difference in the relationship that we have. It's a friendship, and so I kind of like that. I have friends, young friends and old friends, and I like that kind of a lifestyle. You know,
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's really just a hit. I'm just looking forward to getting to know you and the family more and more. So, just one last question, Russell. I appreciate your time and sharing. Like, you see the value of this kind of strategy in place. So, what kind of advice or suggestion would you have to other people? They might not even aware the benefit of having something like this.
well, I think young people, especially, it would be to their advantage to get into it as soon as possible, because then uh, they they're able to build up that equity within the policy, in which that itself builds a retirement. Because some people weren't as fortunate as Sandra and I to have a job which gives us a very good retirement, whereas others, like I have a son that's a general contractor. Well, he doesn't have someone pay. He has to come up with the money to buy uh, his own retirement program, and so this kind of a situation is perfect for that, and that he is paying in to at an early age to build that retirement uh, for him and his family, which I do like the return that is built into that. So it is truly an investment, um, and then on the other hand, I was looking at it at this point. Most insurance companies at my age would not take me, you know, or their premium would be so extravagant that I couldn't afford it. And so what I get back out of it would be very, very little. Like a term insurance policy. That's not going to do me any good. So this more of a whole life policy with the investment side of it really creates greater interest for me, being at where I am at 72, and I can still realize benefits from this.
Well, thank you so much, Russell, for sharing. Yeah, you're a true visionary. It's it's a lot of fun, you and Sandra.